guys, this is Allison, and today I will be doing my review of The 100 403. Okay, so this episode, guys, is my favorite so far. Season 4 has been killing it. I am just thrilled with the development and with the awesome characters that we've gotten. So yeah, also really cool side note, I finally have my Blark poster up. I don't know if you can see it, but I got Bob Marley to sign it, and I'm freaking out that it actually happened. Like, whoa! And I was so, I kept my fangirling down, kept it under control, which was great, and I still can't believe that it is signed. Yeah, so hopefully next year at Unity Days, 2018, when it gets announced, I can get Eliza to sign it at the top, which would be great. So let's talk about this episode. You guys, so much stuff happened in this episode. Like, holy crud. Okay, so let's just get started. Basically, we see Luna and the remaining members of the flu crew come in, and they're covered in boils and radiation burns, and they're sick, and Naiko's there, which I'm like, where have you been all my life, Naiko? Where have you been? He's there, and so of course, all the people are wary because of what happened in season 1 when Murphy was basically sent back sick and was basically there to make all of the Sky Crew really weak. And so they're hesitant. But then Bellamy and Clark, the leaders that they are, man, they are just so good together, you guys. More about this later, okay? So basically they come to the front and they're like, oh, it's Luna, we can trust them, it's okay, we need to let them in. So they come in, and of course they're throwing up and vomiting, and they have boils all over their face, it just looks ugh. And so Naiko's there, and so, of course, the whole thing comes up with Raven having to make a really tough choice, She's in charge of rationing medicine and supplies, and so, Abby comes to her saying, hey, I really want to, we need to see if this radiation medication works. And Raven's no, it's not going to work. You can't guarantee that. We need it for our people because we have to stock up for the next 5 years. Basically, they have 2 months instead of 6 months until the radiation stuff, till basically the nuclear apocalypse. And so Raven's we can't do this. And then, Abby's if we can save one life, it's worth it. At least give me enough for the child. There's a child there. And Raven's no, Abby, we can't. And so it's just, I love how Raven is more of the forefront this season. She's more of a leader this season, having to make those tough decisions. I mean, yeah, she's given Bellamy and Clark a hard time, which, Raven is passionate. And I feel she's saying what she feels in good faith. She's not saying it to be mean, but she's everyone has to live with your choices, and now she has to live with that too. She's having to live with the choice of of not giving not giving Abby the radiation medication, and then lo and behold, we have the Murphy and Amori storyline. I love their storyline. I love Murphy and Amori. I just think they're great together. They're just awesome. I love Amori. I love Murphy. Murphy's grown on me a lot. I don't love him yet, but he's grown on me. I love Amori. I really want her to live. Louisa is so sweet and such a doll. Please let her live, please. So they're back into kind of Bonnie and Clyde again, on their own storyline. And then Murphy, sneaks back into camp to steal to feed him and Amore, and then he overhears, Abby talking to Raven about how we have 2 months left to live, and we need this medication. And then basically Murphy steals it while Raven's working and gives it to Abby. And even though the medication doesn't work, Murphy, he's trying to get on their good side so he will be accepted back into the camp. He's kind of a loner, kind of a drifter, and so they don't really trust him, obviously. Abby and Murphy have a really interesting relationship because Murphy was responsible for pumping, oh my gosh, I can't remember, pumping Antari's heart so Clark could still be alive. So Murphy's basically, had a pretty instrumental part in saving Clark's life. So of course, he's well, I can use this to get in good with these guys, which makes sense. That makes sense with his storyline, with what he's feeling. And now he has Amori to look after, so he's okay, I really care about her now, so I need to make sure that we're gonna be on the right side when all the crap hits the fan. And I also really liked in the cave with Amori and Murphy, Amori's like, like she gets jealous over Murphy talking about Ontari, and I'm glad that even though it wasn't explicit, it was actually mentioned how Murphy is like, I was just trying to survive. It wasn't all like, sunshine and roses. And just because Murphy was raped by Ontari just to survive, just so he could survive. And I'm glad that that was addressed and brought up because that was traumatic, like especially for anybody. But I feel like a lot of the time in the media, we don't see portrayals of male rape. We don't see that. It's kind of taboo. And to see that in the 100 and see it addressed, like, made me feel really good just because it needs to be addressed. Because it happens to everybody. Everybody knows someone or is affected by sexual assault. And I'm glad that it was addressed. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I wouldn't trust Murphy personally, but I understand why he's doing what he's doing. Him and Warrior, like, we need to make ourselves useful, which makes sense. Okay, so now we go to the big reveal, which I had a thought. I was like, maybe this new character, Gaia, Indra obviously knows her just by her interactions in 402, like, something's going on, there's some connection between her and Gaia. And we find out that that's Indra's daughter. Whoa! Like, oh my gosh. I just love Gaia's storyline. I want to know more about her. I want to know, I just want all the scenes. We had so many feels, with her mom and how Gaia's you've never been proud of me. Like, you said I was wasting my life whenever I left. And now you have Octavia as the daughter that you always wanted. I'm glad you got what you want because I wasn't what you wanted. And, I definitely, it was real. And it was, real emotion and, conflict. And then, of course, we have the Octavia and Gaia fight, which was really cool. I was really hoping that Gaia would put Octavia on her butt, but that didn't really happen. I just hope someone breaks through to Octavia, just because she's kind of gone totally off the rails, doing her own thing, killing people just because she can. She's good at it. But I thought it was really smart how Octavia used Gaia's necklace to save the chip for Gaia, and basically threw Rowan off of the trail by killing somebody else, and showing Gaia's necklace saying, hey, I tried, but the chip was destroyed. But that was really smart. And I like how Octavia said Indra, she's famous, she's important. And Indra's so conflicted because her daughter was was born and was bred to be a warrior and to be like Indra. And then when she left to be the Flamekeeper and to search for all the Nightbloods, it's kind of a huge betrayal to Indra. And I'm really excited. I really like what I'm seeing with the Indra and Octavia relationship. And now that we have Gaia into the fold, I really like that. I want to see more of it. I just love Gaia's character. I want to know more about her. I love her. And I want to know, everything about her. I'm really excited for the backstory and just more scenes with her, because I know that she's going to be really important this season. We had Octavia scene with Ilian, and I feel like they can both relate in a way. They both had to kill people because they were suffering or because they were possessed, or they both made mistakes. They both lost people that they love, which I feel like everybody has, but considering they're probably the youngest of the group as a whole, Octavia is the youngest, and then Ilian he's young. I mean, Octavia is what, 17 right now in the show. And in the book she's 14, but in the show she was 17. Yeah, and so Ilian looks 17 or 18, so I don't know. I know some people are talking about there's going to be a romance, which I feel like is going to be really dumb, but I don't know. But I want to see more of them doing scenes together. I like their chemistry. I like what they're doing. But yeah, okay, so the big moment of tonight, dude, we have risen from the ashes. Yes, man. We had such a good scene at the very end when when Bellamy and Clark, Clark is writing the list, and the whole day trip scene was just great, with Jaha and them, and Jaha talking to Bellamy, she keeps you centered, and he says, no, you have it backwards, and I was like, the feels, It was just great. And so I didn't think that was gonna pan out because Jaha's like crazy and we'll do just like none of his ideas pan out okay. So I just love the scene at the very end when like Clark is crying, he's writing down the list, and Bellamy's sleeping. Oh, such a good parallel between Kane and Abby last season when Abby's sleeping and Kane's working. Yeah, it was just really great, you guys. And then like Bellamy awakes and he's like, "I'm here for you," and I was like, ah! And just like how everything was just so great. Like she writes his name down, and then Bellamy's like, "Write your name down," and she's like, "I can't," and I was like, "The feel, somebody hold me," and then he writes down her name in all caps because he's just like awesome like that. And then, you know, he comforts her and she like leans her head and I'm like, what fan fiction crap is this? Like we're so blessed right now. And just how Bellamy's like, you know, you can get some sleep, like I'm here for you. And like if you my name is written down, your name is written down too. Like I'm not going anywhere without you. And it just speaks volumes to their relationship. Like it just speaks so I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love a kiss eventually, but it just speaks volumes as to how they're gonna be there for each other and support one another and just to like lean on each other. Like they're each other's cheerleaders. And it's just Bob and Eliza like killed that scene, man. Like I am so freaking excited for more Belark, you guys. This is our season. I feel it. Yeah, so just like that's my review. So many awesome predictions happened, and I can't wait for more. And I'm really hoping, well, we know from the promo that we get new Adventure Squad scenes. Yes, Raven's out in the mix, which is great. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below what your thoughts are for next episode, what's going to happen, what are your thoughts about the whole Indra daughter reveal, the Belark scene, just everything, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.